Hey guys, it's Ep13 and welcome back to episode 13 of my Leeds United career mode. Now today's episode we've got 3 more games to get through. The first game is going to be against Hull City. That's obviously a league game for us to play before we get out of the January transfer window. Then we'll hopefully get out the window and we'll also play games against Cardiff next month, and also the replay that we have against Brighton after the game that we obviously had last episode, which we drew 0-0 in the Cup. Obviously looking for a better performance than what we saw last episode, but it's the replay. It's an opportunity for us to try and redeem ourselves in that fixture and hopefully get ourselves through into the next round of the FA Cup. Then we'll obviously have 3 days later again at Sheffield United for next episode, and then a few more fixtures after that. Hopefully getting ourselves obviously 3 victories, going to try and continue our good form at the moment in the league. Currently 13 points in front of second place, in a fantastic position to go and hopefully get promoted through the automatic positions, but there's still a few games to play, still a decent chunk, I think 18 matches or something like that, so still plenty of games to get through, and a lot could happen in those games. Before getting into today's episode though, if we could try and hit 75 likes on today's episode, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit the subscribe as well down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead, click that button, and that'd be absolutely great. Let's crack on with today's episode. This is the team I'm going with for the first game. Obviously, with it being Hull, who are in 3rd place in a good position at the moment in the league, we are going to go fairly strong for this match, and we're going to go Reed Val starting in goal, Ayling, Janssen, Flint, and Berardi in defence. Kevin Phillips and Vieira as holding midfielders, Alioski, Sayers and Roof as our 3 centre attacking mids that are in behind Lazoga, who starts up front. This is the bench I've gone with. Again, a little bit changed. There's a few tired players who miss out of this game because we played recently against Brighton. But you can see the bench that I've gone with there. Hopefully a few of them will get on the pitch at some point. Maybe Stuart Dallas, although he could be rested for the next game against Cardiff. But we'll see how we get on, basically. Kind of play things a little bit by ear and hopefully get ourselves 3 points here against Hull City. Obviously, another team are really sort of fighting for automatic promotion, and at the moment we are leading them. Hopefully we can stay in that position come the end of the season. Okay, let's crack on with this game against Hull City at the KCOM Stadium. Can we get ourselves a good victory here? Let's wait and see. Obviously Hull City, a good team, got some good players in decent position in the league, so it could be an interesting match, this one. Expecting it to be a tough one. I expect it to be a bit of a battle as well. Larson starting strong and hitting the post. Not even 3 minutes in yet, and that is a brilliant chance for Hull City. Do you see the way that he got past, I think it was Flint as well? Brilliant bit of skill. Got it through his legs, I think, as well on the turn. Great start from Hull City. This could be a very interesting game, actually, the way that they've begun. Kevin Phillips running forward, now waiting for the right pass. It's going to be out to Alioski, who's got a bit of pace about him, trying to beat his man, and actually should probably come inside a little bit here. Lost out to the centre-back. Sayers running forward, that's good. Now looking to Alioski. Alioski going to bring it back inside. Still has it, in fact, going to go for a cross into the middle. It's a good ball into Roof, who can't quite get there. Got close, but beaten to it. Injury in there, and it's for Roof as well. Must have landed awkwardly. Looks like he's holding his knee or some part of his leg. Anyway, it's going to have to be an early substitution. Gutted about that. Roof initially wasn't even going to start. It was supposed to be Stuart Dallas, and I changed it last minute. Stuart Dallas will come on anyway and will replace Roof, who has got himself injured. Gutted about that one. 25 minutes in, first change. Definitely not ideal at all. Roof looks pretty good as well. Stuart Dallas hopefully going to come on and do a good job for us. Obviously, very different player is Stuart Dallas. Nowhere near as fast, but does have certain qualities that will definitely benefit us. Oh, what a pass that is in behind. Dicko's through. What a save from Reed-Filed. And it's going to be put in the back of the net. I thought initially that that shot was actually going to be to try and get it in the back of the net, but it looks like it was a pass in the end to Larson, who finishes off. And there's no keeper in there to be able to save it. They're winning the game 1-0. Balance of play, they've looked a little bit better. A few times Dicko's got in behind and caused our defence issues. It's not a fast defence. I mean, it's going to happen if you throw a ball through like that and they've got a fast striker. That initial pass or shot, whatever it was going off target, but Larson was there to put it in, like I say, into an empty net on the volley. Berardi didn't really do too much. Yeah, frustrating. We should do better than that. Initially, I think Reed Val did a good job, came out and obviously made a good save, but was always going to be very difficult to defend the final 2 sort of opportunities that they had to score. And yeah, disappointed to be losing the match, but yeah, still plenty of time to go. Not too worried right now. I'll be a bit more worried if we get to half time and we're in a similar position, i.e. not creating that many chances. So there's still plenty of time though to go. Hopefully we can create one here through Vieira. Gets blocked. Vieira coming inside here. Stuart Dallas now to shoot. Oh, I celebrated. I thought it got in. It just looks like the perfect finesse from him, and it's really good as well. Just opens up his body, and I thought the finish was right, but just a little bit too high. It's hit the crossbar, the corner of the goal by the looks of it. Sayers now still going to try and attack, but it's going to be cleared. It's a good chance, our best chance of the game so far, and I said I wanted to have one of those sort of chances before half-time. We've done that. It's still not a goal, but there might be one here through Sayers to shoot, and that one too is wide. But yeah, we're getting a little bit closer. Better performance now towards the end of the first half. Dallas. Oh, the ball was just going through to Sayers as well. We've responded well to going down 1-0. We're still losing at half-time, though. I think there's going to be a few more opportunities for us, definitely in the second half. got to try and cope with Dicko still going forward. He looks a big threat to our defence. Maybe got to look at trying to sort that out. It just seems like Flint, this isn't particularly fast enough to cope with him. Janssen obviously not particularly fast himself as well. And so between those two, it's difficult to sort out. Berardi and Ayling hardly the fastest fullbacks either. So, yeah, difficult one for us to sort out. We don't have any particularly pacey defenders, to be honest. Maybe that's something we have to look at. But, yeah, we'll hopefully just have to deal with it, prevent them from getting the ball in particularly good positions, and hopefully deal with it through that way. Alioski, Sayers turns, waiting for the next pass into Calvin Phillips, still waiting for a bit of support if he can on the overlap. Might fall for Alioski here, actually. Cuts it back to Calvin Phillips on his left foot, another block in there. Hull City crowding us out when we go forward. Oh, well played, Sayers. That's on the overlap there. Lozoka needs to now support him again in the box if he can. It's a terrible challenge. It's going to be a penalty. That's a terrible, terrible challenge. No idea who it is that's brought him down, but he just dives in far too easily and certainly shouldn't be in that sort of position. Just has to stay on his feet, preventing the cross, and then it's sorted. But he goes in there on Sayers and brings him down. It's a really, really poor tackle, is that one. Just doesn't get any of the ball, and it's a good chance for the penalty spot. The last penalty I took, I think, was on the Man City Ground, and I just put it wide. So that doesn't bode well for this one. And I think we might go Lozoga actually on this one, see how we get on. Just got to try and get it on target this time, and hopefully score at the same time as well. We have done. It's a good penalty, that from Lozoga. It's 1-1 back at level terms, much better. We started off the second half really well, 10 minutes in, and it's now 1-1. Oh, just through again to Dicko. Every single time they want to stretch us, it's just a little ball through to that striker. We can't keep hold of him. Our centre-backs are far too slow, and it's something we still have to try and resolve if we can. Maybe look at bringing someone else on to play at centre-back. We'll have to wait and see. We'll give it another couple of minutes. Okay, second change. Anita's going to come on. We're going to take off Flint. Ayling's going to go play alongside Pontus Janssen. A little bit faster, obviously, Ayling there as well, as obviously Anita is a bit faster as our fullback as well. So we'll see how it goes. Flint comes off, and we do have one more change to make if we want to. Still looking for another goal. It's tempting to bring on someone like Chibitsky, but I just think like Sayers and Alioski are such good players. I mean, I think we're going to risk it and take off Alioski and bring on Chibitsky to play centre attacking mid and leave Pablo Hernandez on there. See how we go. 25 minutes left. A little bit risky, but I think we've got to roll the dice a little bit on this one and try and get ourselves a second goal somehow. No, oof, just about managed to keep it out. Good opportunity for Hull City. Thought they'd scored then. Lozoka flicks on. Stuart Dallas, not blessed with loads of pace, but he's managed to get in front of his fullback for now. Goes for a cross in there and just couldn't wait long enough for Lozoka. Maybe should have cut back on his right foot. We're struggling a little bit, 7 minutes left. I mean, a draw wouldn't be the worst result. This is against third in the league. Obviously, we're 13 points in front of second right now, so even though it'll be drop points, it wouldn't be a dreadful result. Obviously, we're trying to avoid a loss here, but still pushing for the win ourselves as always. That's it. Finishes 1-1. Disappointed not to get ourselves 3 points, but overall, I think Hull City tested enough and probably deserved it, to be honest. We didn't have that many clear-cut chances to be able to sort of claim a victory. We came obviously from behind. They started off very well. That chance there was just 3 minutes in, and they did have a few other good chances as well, to be fair to them. You can see there's only one more shot on target than them. That's obviously very unusual for us. We usually have a lot more shots on target than that. But yeah, 8 shots for both teams, 2 on target for them, 3 for us. Overall, I think 1-0's probably deserved, to be honest. Okay, onto some emails. First of all, got a player injured. That's Roof, who's out for 3 months with a broken ankle. Okay, he's holding his knee for starters, but he's out for 3 months. Disappointed with that, obviously very disappointed. 3 months, long time. So leaves him probably coming back start of May, end of April. Frustrating, obviously a great player for us, but Stu Dallas will get more of a role in the team now, as will probably Gomez as well. But yeah, good about that one. I like Roof a lot in game. I think he's been very good for us, especially down the middle as well. He's been pretty good. And we've also got a play coming in, though. That's for next season, I think, by the looks of it. It's a pre-contract agreement. We started looking at that in the last episode, and we're hopefully going to include it now. He's a left mid. Obviously, it would be nice to have him in now, but won't be the case because he'll join us next season as part of our Premier League team. He'll join us on 29,000 a week as well, which we can negotiate. He's very happy with that, actually. 3-year deal, crucial first-team player, and that'll be accepted. And you can see the players that we've brought in here. Obviously, Flint came in permanently, but we have successfully brought in a number of players ready for next season to try and strengthen our team and make it into a proper Premier League team. So looking forward to that, looking forward to using those guys, and you can see we've got some emails here. Janssen saying thanks boss, Hernandez not happy with his role at the club. Yeah, I missed that last game purely because he was just too tired, so that's the reason why he didn't play. It was nothing else to do with it. He was just a little bit tired, wanted him for the next match in particular. So yeah, we'll also use Pablo Hernandez in the next game, but yeah, disappointed that he didn't start that match. You can also see Asensio's moved to PSG for just under £100 million. That is lots of money for him. Okay, so because of the roof injury that we've obviously had, we are going to actually delve back into the transfer window and try and bring in somebody on loan. Now we're going to take a look at Zinchenko, Foden and Lookman. Obviously Lookman more plays sort of Roof's position, left mid, fast sort of player. Foden and Zinchenko are sort of players that can play those sort of positions but aren't quite as fast and aren't basically like Roof at all. We're going to take a look at all three of them, try and get them in on short-term loans, so nothing permanent or anything like that. Purely just delegating for a short-term loan. We'll see exactly what can be agreed in the next 10 hours. There's plenty of time, and hopefully something can be agreed if those teams are obviously willing to let those players go. So we'll see what happens anyway. Delegate to loan, and hopefully something can be concluded. We've got 89 grand a week to spend on wage, so wage shouldn't be an issue, I don't think, for those three players. Let's find out what happens. Hopefully we do hear back from them in the 10 hours as well, because I don't know whether it takes days for that to happen or whether we can hear back in the hours. Okay, that took 2 hours. We've heard back from all three of them, and all three of them have come to an agreement. So basically take your pick. Could we bring in multiple players, in fact, on a short-term loan here? Definitely want Lookman, I think. Don't even know what overall he is, but I'm pretty sure he could be definitely very, very helpful to us in terms of pace that we don't really seem to have from obviously losing Roof for 3 months. So, yeah, it's difficult to know exactly what to do here. Wage is 16 grand. We're paying all of his wage as well. Okay, 63 grand for Zinchenko and 13 for Foden. That seems a bit more reasonable. We'll certainly bring in Lookman. We'll take a risk. I don't know what his overall is, but we'll take a risk. And I think Zinchenko can't be done for me. 63 grand's a lot of money. I'd also like to bring in Foden as well, but does he have a role in the squad? So I'm going to bring him in for the sake of it. Yeah, I think Foden will have a role in the squad. We'll bring him in as well. Obviously, we have Gomez who can play a similar sort of position, but I think Foden's going to be better overall. And also, I think better short-term as well for us. So we'll accept him. We'll bring him in. Obviously not the most realistic of signings. We have had to go off a little bit on a tangent, obviously short term, because these guys coming in, I think, until the end of the season, a short term loan, hopefully. But obviously that's something we've had to do down to the Roof injury. 3 months, a long, long time. And for me, he is quite a key player for us as well. Gives us a lot of pace and quality. Can something be agreed? Let's have a look. No. Okay. Yeah, Phil Foden's rejected it. So has Lookman. So, yeah, not that successful then. Great. Back to the drawing board on that one. We'll go with Zinchenko. I think, again, unlikely that he's going to accept. If Foden and Lookman didn't, then why would Zinchenko on 63 grand a week? Even still, I don't think that's something that'll be accepted. So, yeah, a little bit stuck as to what to do here. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Okay, so if nothing can be agreed with Zinchenko, then we'll just go with the team that we have. We'll just believe in the players that we have, and obviously Gomez will have more of an impact. So will Stuart Dallas, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But this is a very strange offer. Alioski loan offer. Why are they trying to loan him? What's going on here? Obviously not, he's a starting player. We'll just reject that one. Really strange bid, but yeah, in the final few hours we've managed to somehow pick up a loan offer for Alioski. Okay, let's find out what's happening here. Zinchenko loaned in. Okay, he accepted it. Well, that's a little bit strange. Okay, so he's now joined us on a short-term loan, Zinchenko. Very bizarre one for us. Wasn't expecting that one to go through at all, especially after the last two basically just rejected us outright. The better player out of those three that we went for has actually signed. So a little bit of a different player. Obviously, you know, good stats on him. Centre second, he can play right wing, left wing as well. And I'm looking forward to using him. He'll obviously have a good use in the team with Roof being out, and can play similar sort of positions. Obviously, a little bit of a different player, not quite as fast as him, but certainly will give us plenty of quality. Obviously, better overall as well, which is nice to see. We've also got a transfer offering in here for Ronaldo Vieira. It's from West Brom, £11.1 million for him. It's a great offer. He's a good player, but I'm absolutely going to reject that one. No intention of getting rid of Vieira. It kind of shows how valuable and how much he's rated, to be honest. Obviously, a Premier League team coming in, £11.1 million, good amount of money, but no intentions of selling him whatsoever. I was just thinking, I think we might change up this episode a little bit. We won't get through 3 games, I think. I think we'll go through a squad report, which I don't think I've done yet, and we'll go through the progress of the different players, and hopefully we'll have enough time to play one more game on top of that as well. So rather than playing 3 games, we'll play 2, as well as the squad report as well, which I've not done yet. Board aren't happy because I'm not investing in our youth. Yeah, we'll try and do that. It's obviously not a massive goal. Our main goal is to get back in the Premier League. Okay, because the new layout, it does seem like it's more difficult for me to be able to show you the progress that each individual player has gone through, because now you have to flick through pages, which I don't know why I've done that. Why would you make things more difficult to see? But anyway, that's the way it is. So I'll go through the overalls of the players rather than the specific stats that I've got up or down. So Rivaldo remains at 76 overall. Lonergan's gone down due to age, obviously. Pico Rafael's gone up 1, which is good to see. Louis Coyle, who's out alone, goes up 1. Anita has remained the same. Luke Ayling's gone up 1 so far. A player that I've not actually heard of, who's out alone, has actually remained on the same overall. Not really too sure when he was brought in by Leeds, actually. I'll have to look into that one. Potter Jansen's got up 1 overall so far this season, Pennington the same, Shaughnessy up 2, Kay up 1 as well, we've got Flint up 1, Cooper up 1 as well, Denton up 1, Bothwick Jackson up 1, Berardi remains the same, Calvin Phillips up 4, in fact he's had a great start to the season, Vieira even better, 8 overalls he's increased by, Aidan Clark goes up 2, Roof's gone up 1, Sacco's gone up 1 as well, Klitsch's gone up 1, O'Kane's remained the same, Ador's gone up 3, Luke Murphy's gone up 1 out on loan, Stuart Dallas has gone up 1 as well, Gomez has gone up 2 so far, Zinchenko up 1, obviously not by us, Pablo Hernandez remains the same, Sayans remains the same as well, Alioski up 1, Ekiban goes up 1 as well, Malik Wilkes go up by 3 overall, Grot's gone up by 8 overall, he's had a fantastic start to the season as well, Trubisky's gone up 2, Lazoga's gone up 1, and Antonson's gone up 1 as well, out on loan, so far doing a pretty good job, especially if those players have gone up by 8 overalls, Vieira, and who's the other one, I think Grot as well is the other guy who's gone up by 8 overalls, both of them doing incredibly well so far, very impressed with those guys, and hopefully going to use Grot a little bit more, obviously not featured that much, Lazoga's played better, simple as that, but he will hopefully get a few more games in the upcoming matches. Okay, so a report to go through, first of all got Bailey, not good enough, anybody else that's actually good enough to play? No, it doesn't look like it. Disappointing month for us. Okay, so again, we're going to switch things up a little bit in today's episode. We will actually get through 3 games. We're going to sim the game against Cardiff and then play the game against Brighton to finish off the episode. So we're going to go with this team. It's heavily changed. Brighton in a few days' time, so now might be my priority to get through into the next round of the FA Cup. Obviously, in the league, we're doing very well, so we can afford to potentially sacrifice points. Obviously, we hope to still win this game. Reval starts in goal. Anita, Pennington, Cooper, Bothwick Jackson, Cligg, O'Kane, Sacco, Hernandez, Dallas, and Grot all start. So we'll see we get on against Cardiff. Tough game, potentially. Hopefully, getting ourselves a victory. Obviously, a changed team won't help us in doing that, but we've gone with it anyway. We're losing the match 1-0, 24 minutes in. Not a good start to the game. Approaching half-time. Still remains 1-0. They've missed a penalty. I thought we'd missed a penalty then for a second. Into the second half. Still remains 1-0 to Cardiff. Looking to get an equaliser. Doesn't seem like it's coming at the moment. Can we, with 15 minutes left of this game? Size comes on. Phillips comes on. Hoyler adds a second and kills off the game. Grot pulls for back late on, but it's too late, and we have lost the match 2-1 to Cardiff. They're disappointed, of course. Wanted to win that game, didn't happen, and now we're going to focus on the game against Brighton to finish off the episode. But we'll have to wait and see what the league table looks like now. Okay, so this is it. Despite our draw and our loss in the last 2 games, we are still 11 points in front. So it tells you obviously how comfortable it is at the moment for us. Even though we've dropped points in the last 2 games, we're still in a great position. So that's good. Unfortunate, obviously, for us to do that, but sometimes you've got to focus on other fixtures, and that's exactly what we've done here. Some player development before we go into the final game of today's episode. I think we're going to change this around a little bit. We'll focus on a couple of other players. Okay then, so these are the player drills we're going to go with. You can obviously see who I'm focusing on this week. Vieira is obviously going to be a big part of our team. We're going to look to try and train him up over the next few weeks. Desperately going to try and push him towards 80 overall if we can. Grot's also going to come in as well, do a drill for us, continue his progress and hopefully grow a little bit more. Vieira goes up, I think, just 1 stat this week, but I wasn't expecting anything too major. It's more about over the next few weeks, keep him in there, and hopefully he'll get a little bit closer to 78 overall. Okay, into the final game of today's episode against Brighton. We've gone with a mixed team here. It's sort of made up of first team players and also changed players as well, because we've got a game against Sheffield United, I think, in about 3 days' time again in the league. So we're going to have to switch things around again for that match next episode. But we've got Lonergan starting in goal, Ailey at right back, Shaughnessy and Janssen playing as our centre-backs, Berardi is our left-back, Vieira and Phillips in midfield, with Alioski, Zinchenko and Gomez also starting. Lazoga also starts up front as well, so obviously going all out with the strike that we've gone there. And yeah, hopefully we get ourselves a good victory. Zinchenko obviously starting for the first time with us, playing with him anyway, and you can also see the bench here. So yeah, looking forward to an interesting game. It'll obviously tell me a lot about the players I put out here. Gomez and Zinchenko in particular could be interesting to find a little bit more out about them. Okay, then here we go. Looking forward to this game actually against Brighton. Obviously trying to get through into the next round of the FA Cup. Was disappointed with our performance last episode. 0-0's not good enough for us. Need to score goals, and hopefully we can do that in this episode. Looking forward to trying out some of the other players as well after a really solid performance from us. Hopefully a clean sheet, but it's difficult for us. Sometimes it doesn't quite happen like that. And especially with the changed defence as well, could be tough, but we'll wait and see. Shaughnessy has in the past played pretty well for us. Lazoga through to Zinchenko. He's going to come inside on his left foot and try and shoot. He does get a shot away, deflects out for a corner. Just managed to find enough space to shoot there, and actually looked for a second like it might have found the back of the net with that deflection. It was close. Zinchenko will also deliver the corner, and that was flicked on and into the back post, cleared away. As far as Gomez, he'll still try and keep the attack alive, but now cleared. Good chance. Oh, really good header. In fact, I thought he'd gone in the back of the net, to be honest, but it turns out it was a good header in the end. Who is it? Berardi is at the back post. and just about beats Brown to it. Is that corner or goal kick? Even better, it wasn't even his fan touch. Vieira looks to try and slip in Gomez. It's a good pass, but just intercepted. That looks like our best opportunity of the game so far, and it tells you the opportunities that we've been creating, if that is the best one. Still a chance for Alioski to shoot, but it's a tight angle. And we are going to go into half-time again at 0-0. Frustrating, because it's a similar sort of game to the last fixture we played against them. And I think there's maybe a way to break out of that, but it's a risky way, and it's going a little bit more all-out. I think if we go and do that, we are at risk of obviously hurting ourselves at the back a little bit. Brighton are very rigid at the back themselves. They're very good at defending. They got a lot of numbers back there, and then they're very good going forward as well. They look quite fluid when they get forward. So it's difficult to know what to do. I kind of want to go for more of a 4-3-3 type formation, and then we'd have to obviously change personnel a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to have a little tweak at half-time. Okay, so Gomez will come off. Sacco's going to come on, play as our right winger. Aliosi's going to go and play as our left winger. We could swap those guys around so they can cut in, but for now we won't. We'll just go with the crossing element. Obviously, he's trying to get into Lozoga. It's going to be a 4-3-3 attack. Obviously, Zinchenko plays our centre attack in mid. Vieira and Phillips trying to hold things in midfield a little bit. But yeah, it's a little bit more out there, isn't it? This sort of formation obviously pushes attackers a little bit further forward and tries to commit a few more men. Hopefully, that doesn't backfire. We want to remain in the FA Cup. We want to go through into the next round. Let's see whether that does help us out a bit. I think we just needed to give a little bit more to try and break them down a bit. Great chance, great goal. They've kind of done what I like to do a lot of the time, which is bring a winger from wide inside really quickly. If you play that pass right inside the fullback, it can really cause issues, and they've done it perfectly there. Pulled us apart. A few issues I'm not too happy with. The centre-back brings the ball far too far forward. Look, that's the guy in possession. He's a centre-back there. Got to prevent that from happening. Luke Ayling goes too wide. Jansen allows that gap to grow, and it just forms the perfect opportunity to put a ball into that space, and obviously the attacker runs in there and scores past Lonergan. But winning the game 1-0, it's frustrating for us. It's just happened 10 minutes into the second half. Luckily, there's plenty of time to get back into things, but the way our scoring form's been against this Brighton team, it's not looking too good at the moment. Got to try and restore our, well, hopefully some sort of balance in the scoreline here if we can, but we're unable to get back on level terms just yet. Sacco's still going. Looking to head that one down into Vieira, and that's very optimistic on his left foot. 25 minutes left. Let's make some more changes. Zinchenko will be the guy to come off. Not had enough of an impact for my liking, unfortunately. I'm worried about that with him, but yeah, seems like that could be the case. Got to try and get him on the ball a little bit more. Got to try and show his quality a bit more as well. Tempted to train him up, but obviously as a lone player, it's not really worth our time, I don't think. So that'll be the next change. Trubisky's going to come on. He's going to play a little bit closer to Lozoga, if it'll let me put him. No? Okay. He won't play a little bit closer. I've noticed they've really restricted the positioning of players on this FIFA, which is a little bit frustrating. I like to go a little bit all-out attack sometimes, and yeah, they seem to prevent you from doing that nowadays, which is a bit of a shame. Trubisky will come on though, Zinchenko off, 25 minutes to go. Final change, Shaughnessy off, we'll bring on Anita, and he's going to go play as a right wing back, a little bit further forward, try and push them forward a little bit. Yeah, 20 minutes left. We'll see what happens. At the moment, we're going to be out of the FA Cup though. Lozoga trying to switch it to Sacco. He's been very, very quiet, unusually quiet for Sacco. He's always on the ball, usually on the right-hand side. Still trying to get past his man and go for a cross into the middle. Trubisky trying to find Lozoga, and it's cleared again. Brighton defending just so well. So well. Not seen a team defend us this well in a long, long time, if at all, to be honest. Still a chance on the overlap here for Anita. Looking for a cutback, and it wasn't cut back. It was just straight into Krul. But it's a really good overlap. Go on into Trubisky. Still a chance if he can play into Vieira. The pass wasn't good, and neither was the shot. Oh, how did he get that pass wrong? I have no idea. And that is a pass back as well, but won't be given, of course. 5 minutes to go. Don't have enough players forward really for my liking here. Trubisky trying to do it himself. He might find a gap as well in the defence. Does he have a little chip to Lozoga maybe? He did have a chip, but it wasn't to Lozoga. That's it, we're out of the FA Cup, losing to Brighton 1-0. Not great result or performance from us. So we'll have to deal with the way that Brighton played. Usually we adapt pretty well when we have the resources, so I've adapted quite well at Man City on the Man City grammar, but this one just didn't really have the right players to be able to adapt to what we needed to do here. We had to be strong at the back, we also had to play with a little bit more flair going forward, which we just didn't have the players available for it. Zinchenko didn't have enough impact, Gomez didn't have enough impact, Sacco when he came on didn't do as well as usual, which was a bit strange. And not enough players play well enough, and ultimately when that happens you are going to lose the game. Brighton on the other hand, only had one shot on target and they scored it, so we can't be too down about that because they didn't have loads of chances, but still, they scored their chance, they won the game, we're out of the FA Cup, and that's all that matters. So, frustrated, but it wasn't our main focus this season, of course, anyway. We'll look at the FA Cup a little bit more next season, as we're not expected to win the league next season. But yeah, certainly for this year, we are looking to get back in the Premier League. So it gives us more of a focus now on the league competitions, and obviously on the other cup competitions still as well. But our priority, of course, is still the league. And that basically concludes today's episode. Obviously, the next game is going to be against Sheffield United. Could be an interesting match, that one. Obviously expecting to get back onto our win streak and onto winning matches. Struggled to do that so much in today's episode. I don't think we've actually got a win in today's episode, have we? Lost that match, lost the match that we simmed, and I think we drew the first game, didn't we, of the episode. So, yeah, didn't get a win. Can't remember the last time we did that in an episode, but yeah, a little bit gutted about the performances, but I think we can really step things back up against this Sheffield United team. We'll have a lot of key players back for that game, so looking forward to the match. That's everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 75 likes, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.